Hello, beautiful and amazing humans. Thank you for joining me on Journey into the Deep. Today, we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. What does that even mean? First of all, none of that is actually even true. Pretty bizarre to think about. Hey, we do such a good job being our own critics and our own judges and making this world more confusing than it is, more confusing than it has to be or should be. What if there is no such thing as good? What if there's no such thing as bad? There's no such thing as ugly? What if it's just all an illusion that we've chosen to create, live by? Could that be possible? I mean, look at nature. Look at the animals. Look at the stars. Look at the moon and the sun and the galaxies. Look at our predecessors. You think that they live by these set of rules? Good, bad, ugly? I doubt that. I think now more than ever, we as humans need to become more conscious and aware of this reality and of this truth. Realize and accept that there is no such thing as good, bad, or ugly. We've created this world that is so confusing, overbearing, and anxiety provoking of how we should be, or what we should do, or what the world is, or what we even are. There's this never ending internal conflict and external conflict of good and bad, light and dark, positive and negative, when in reality none of that is true. Do you think the nature that coexists and has existed long before us and will exist long after us lives by these set of rules? Or do they live by the truth, in the sense that each being, each thing that exists as one, just as we exist with the trees and the sun and the earth and the water and gravity and energy, if we made a choice to just let these illusions go, a choice to not judge ourselves or others or even events or experiences, but instead just be as a surfer would on a surfboard, just flowing on the ocean, experiencing the moment that is a flow, just like a tree sways back and forth, flows with the winds, with the air, and breathes with humanity and with all animals that exist and coexist within the world, and the sun that shows up to work every day, and the moon that tucks us in. I don't believe that these beautiful, manifest, natural beings that exist and coexist with us in all things live by this illusion and this set of rules that something is bad or something is good, because that's not natural and that's not true. Otherwise the sun wouldn't shine its rays on beings if these set of rules were real, or the moon, or the water, the ocean, the winds. Why wouldn't a tree just decide not to give you air? I mean, we can't exist without the tree. So if they lived the way that humanity did, by creating an illusion of bad and good, judging all that exists and coexists, none of us would be here. Because let's face it, if any of that was real, then nothing would exist. Therefore, bad and good is an illusion that we for some reason have, as humans, chosen to create, and to create a confusing world to live in, both internally and externally. Now, what if we became more like nature and we chose to give up this illusion and this falsehood and this sense of control or justification of existence or understanding or comprehension of what these illusions mean? What if we were just like nature? We simply just chose to flow through life as the tree flows through the wind. What would that world look like? Would we be more at peace? Would we be in our power? Would we be open? Would we be free? Would we feel alive? Would we be able to truly experience the moment? Would we be able to appreciate, to comprehend, to be aware, to be conscious, to understand that we only have control over our own thoughts and how we experience our emotions and our feelings, and how we experience life by the moment, and where we choose to place our thoughts, how we choose to think and create this internal reality, where in turn creates our external experience and defines our external reality. Because let's face it, we're living from the inside out. But when we make choices to live in a world that is untrue or unnatural, we begin to live in a world that is from the outside in, which means that we are choosing to live in a world that is untrue, because the world that is outside is not real, because the world that is inside is what is real. in the sense that what we feel is what we experience, is what creates and defines our thoughts and our emotions and our current state as a human that is being. This can be very confusing when we choose to live in an untrue state, in an unnatural state. For example, we choose to find whatever that it is we are looking for: love, happiness, peace, fulfillment, using the external world to fill the internal world, using the outside to fill the inside. Where your spirit is, where my spirit is, where my emotions are, where my feelings are. I choose to gain temporary fulfillment through material, or through money, or through a physical experience, or through drinking, or through drugs, or through whatever that is, or whatever that could be, to gain an external experience, thinking that it will give me some sort of infinite fulfillment, because let's face it, that's what we're looking for. But instead, the outside world gives me a temporary feeling, temporary fulfillment. Well, isn't it about time that we make choices collectively and internally to change the way that we're living, so that we can align ourselves with nature, choose actions and thoughts, the ability to experience permanent emotions and feelings that give us an infinite feeling of joy and fulfillment and happiness and love? Isn't it about time that we learn from this cycle of the past, this cycle of validating the famous saying that history repeats itself? Isn't it about time that we become conscious and wake up to the true reality, which is one that tells us that based on our physical past as humanity, it's time to learn and realize that the outside world does not fulfill the inside world, and what truly matters is the inside world. When we make a choice to realize that we can't control the outside world, we can control the inside world. What does that mean? It means by making choices to fulfill us through emotions, through actions, through manifesting our potential to create a reality that is true and natural, to align ourselves with nature, just as the sun creates love every single day, and the moon and the stars and the ocean and the winds create love, create life, create unity and harmony among all beings, among all manifest creation. And what do they get in return? Are they at peace? Are they living in a true natural state? Do they not shine and create from the inside out? Is it not about time that we make a choice to create this reality from the inside out? Have we not come to a place to realize that we are much like the sun and the moon and the stars, and we are magnets, and we are energy, and we are able to make choices to create this world from the inside out, much like a projector would create a projection of an image, and we get to make a choice of what we are projecting, that light from the inside out. So how do we do this? We start by making a choice to live, making a choice to love, making a choice to create love, and to create love, to project love, and to be kind, to be honest, and to live in our truth, and to choose to forgive, and to choose to let go, and to choose to stay open, and to choose to be compassionate, and to choose to be empathetic, and to choose to not judge, and to choose peace, and to choose harmony, and to choose validation and accountability, and to choose positivity, and to choose gratitude for life, and to choose trust, and the list goes on. But once we make these choices, we begin to realize that we have the power. We create our own realities. We let go of these anxiety-provoking thoughts, and these thoughts that do not serve us, these untrue thoughts of judgment and of the illusion of control, these thoughts that take us out of spirit in the sense of becoming ungrounded or unconscious. And we start to realize what really matters, which is the beautiful infinite soul that I am, and that you are, and that your child is, or your parent is, or your friend is, and the animals, the mammals, the birds, stars and the moon, the nature that roams the land and the earths and the galaxies with us. We begin to realize that we are all one, and in this lies true fulfillment. In this lies the truth, which is love, which is the soul that we all are. We are the rivers connected to the ocean of love. And when we make these choices to simply let go, and to be one with nature spiritually, and to choose to shine from the inside out, we begin to feel and see and experience the reality which is inevitable, which is that we are love, which is that when I make these choices, my heart begins to open up much like a flower and let the sun in and let energy pass through me. As I shine, others can notice this and feel empowered and become empowered by this shine, which is incredible and rewarding, and which helps create the perfect reality, which is what we are, which is what you see when you see an innocent, beautiful soul of a baby, which is what you really are as well, which we tend to forget. That we must make choices to go back and become one with nature again, in the sense of the internal, the inside experience, the reality that we are all a creation of love, and it is a necessity. And this is what we're trying to fulfill temporarily from the outside in, but it's not working. And so why not make a choice to let go of that reality and choose to go inside, which makes things much easier and more graceful and less stressful, because the key to this infinitely permanent place of peace, fulfillment, and love is within you, which is amazing. So this whole time we've been looking for these answers out there. The apple doesn't grow from the outside in. The apple starts as a seed and grows from the inside, sprouting from the inside out, much like the earth, much like creation, much like myself, much like you. And when we realize that our truth is at our core, within our soul and our heart, we have the ability to reach this place of absolute peace and harmony and happiness within, by making these choices of being empowered, of being connected, and letting go of all other false truths that we've created in our minds, which are not true. So if you ever feel lost or confused, we simply look at nature and live by their example, that the sun and the moon and the birds and the trees don't stop for anyone, and they live in harmony and they create love every day, regardless of the external world. And so what are you doing to live in that reality, to let go, to start by saying, I love you, and I love myself, and I love my life, and I love my children, and I love my friends, and I love my parents, and I love this world, and I love the animals, and I love the sun and the moon. I love the winds, I love the ocean, I love my creator, and I love my source. And am I grateful to live? And am I grateful to be safe and to feel safe and to have this opportunity to feel my heart beat and to find love within this journey of life and to lead by example? And so ask yourself, what world do you want to live in? Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of this. I send you nothing but love. Namaste, goodbye, and salam alaikum.